Drones have been part of war for many years. Simple remote-controlled aircraft were tested as early as World War I. But the conflict in Ukraine has seen their use grow significantly. They are no longer just for special tasks. Now, they are key weapons on the battlefield. One of the most effective weapons in the Ukraine war is the small, low-cost first-person view drone. FPVs, originally designed for civilian racers, are controlled by pilots on the ground and often crash into targets with explosives. The total cost of the drone's components can be as little as $500.
This is a drone that on Amazon costs a few $100. This drone is really good at taking pictures and also 4K video. But more recently, these consumer drones are being used to win wars. And in Ukraine, they are showing us different drones. The first being the Shahed-136, which is Iranian-made and has a nose that contains an explosive warhead and optical sensors. The second of which is the Orlan-10, which was developed by Russia's Special Technology Center. The Orlan is typically used for reconnaissance and surveillance and is usually not armed with a warhead. The Shahed, on the other hand, is a completely different story. This drone makes a very ominous noise before crashing into its target and exploding. The Shahed is particularly dangerous because it has a very long range and it's relatively cheap to purchase. In Ukraine is no slouch either. They have the Switchblade 300 drone and the Bayraktar TB2. The Bayraktar was developed by a Turkish company called Baykar and is the size of a small airplane. The drone also has the capability to both strike targets and conduct reconnaissance, making it very agile and a key part of Ukraine's arsenal against Russia. The Switchblade 300, on the other hand, is provided by the United States. They are designed to strike small groups of soldiers or armored vehicles, and their small size makes them easier to hide and sadly limits their range. While both Ukraine and Russia have their own unique military drones to fight their own battles, each side uses consumer drones of the same manufacturer. DJI, the largest commercial drone producer in the world, doesn't formally supply either Ukraine or Russia with UAVs, however, they nonetheless find their way onto the battlefield. The most commonly used DJI drones are the Matrix 300 RTK and the Mavic 3. The Matrix 300 is a relatively inexpensive commercial drone that costs about $40,000, and the Mavic is the most accessible of all the drone models and also the most cheap, costing around a couple $1,000s. With consumer drones being easy to access and relatively cheap, they are potent weapons on the battlefield. However, that does not mean they are without their drawbacks. Right now, there are only two main methods to defend against these drones, which include an anti-drone jamming gun and a system called DJI Aeroscope. The jamming gun works on a relatively simple principle. It transmits radio signals in order to disrupt the operation of consumer drones. Aeroscope, on the other hand, is made by DJI, the same people that manufacture the Mavic and Matrix drones. In the hands of the wrong people, such as the Russians, Aeroscope can be used to track down drone operators and then attack these positions with artillery fire. Shortly after the war began, DJI released a statement condemning the use of their technology in war zones. However, some Ukrainian officials allege that DJI is providing a more enhanced version of Aeroscope to Russian forces. These allegations have yet to be proven. While these drawbacks can prove to be deadly, the Ukrainians have adapted and learned to overcome the issues. And there's no doubt that both Ukraine and Russia will continue to use drones throughout the war and into the future.